I'm Sarah Zodian, and I've been going to Fairfax United Methodist Church for, I guess, since I was born, so that's like 16 years. So, yeah, I've been attending this church, and so has my family. I did choir when I was little. I took piano lessons here. I was kind of the kid that did everything here. This was kind of where my childhood started out, was the church. And when I started growing up as a youth, I started youth group. And youth group starts when you're in 7th grade, I believe. And I remember I always looked up to all of them because they're really cool. And I just really wanted to be them. But once I started getting into youth group, 7th and 8th grade, it was really fun. I didn't really meet new people. I mean, I did, but like I've been surrounded by the same people like a lot of my life. But yeah, and so I think it was in 7th and 8th grade I went on mission trips. And okay, flashback, when I was little, I'd always go to service 9:30 every morning. And I'd be sitting in the pews while the preacher was preaching and not understanding anything because I was like 10. And it's like, what the heck is a sermon? And my definition of a sermon was something that a certain time period that went for like 20 minutes of a guy talking, and I didn't know what it was. So I was just like, oh, here comes a sermon. But yeah, and so then when I started getting older, yeah, I was, again, 7th and 8th grade, I started paying more attention to the sermons, which was good. And youth group, I think, definitely was the biggest key factor that I really grew spiritually, because I'm surrounded by a bunch of kids who are just as confused about their faith as I was, and I still am. I don't want to say like confused, but just figuring themselves out. So yeah, and mission trips are a big deal in 7th and 8th and all of high school. And I went on those in 7th and 8th grade. I went to Romney, and we did a lot of construction work there, and it was really cool to connect with people. 8th grade was even cooler because we got to do urban area, and we connected with all the people there to see their stories. That's when I started getting, like, you almost feel like there's like a emotional click to when you're like, wow, okay, God's here, He's cool. But it was, for me, it was more of like a growing type thing, because some people, it just clicks. Like, I talked to my old youth director. He said he can remember this one moment from when he was 15 to when he started like really believing in God. And so yeah, for me, it was just growing through 8th and 9th especially, and definitely 10th grade. I think, I don't want to say I'm at my like highest point, but I'm definitely higher than I was in 8th and 10th and 9th grade. But I also, I'm on the Open Doors worship team. So like at 11:15 services, we play in the band and stuff. I play piano and I sing, and people have their different ways of worshiping God and stuff, and that's definitely on my top list. And you could, like, my parents can always tell because I'm always like singing with my eyes closed, and they're like, all right, I can see you, Sarah. But yeah, that's definitely a big portion. And I started that in, I think, the end of 9th grade, and it's definitely like within the church, these people are like so great that we're so lucky to have all these different programs surrounding us, and the fact that we're growing. Like, I just had somebody come up to me the other day and said, hey, you want to start this group? Hey, you want to start this group? And I'm like, wow, that's a thing? Okay, we can do that, sure. So like, you've got to be open to opportunities, because the ending result is always like you feel good about yourself, and that you're like, okay, well, God's here the whole time, and He knows that He'll support you, whatever you do, whatever you like path you want to go. This church definitely, I would say, helped me grow throughout my whole life. It's not one of those things that just kind of like clicked. People who go to this church I've been around with for many of years. They're my neighbors. They're, swim team, basketball, whatever. Just know them, and they're good people to be surrounded by and keep you grounded. And I always look forward to Sundays when I actually listen to the sermons, and I take that information and I go out and put it towards my daily lives, because as a high schooler, you might want some of that motivation in life, because some kids don't have that, or they have different ways of finding